What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 1:26 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some very concerning information coming out from China and here in the US and also the Netherlands. Apparently, this mysterious pneumonia that's affecting kids is now spreading and cases are surging. So apparently, DC area hospitals are reporting an uptick in sick visits. Fox 5 DC has learned that hospitals, emergency rooms, urgent care locations, and clinics are reportedly seeing an uptick in sick visits, and childhood pneumonia cases are surging in the Netherlands, a health agency in the country has reported. During the week of November 13th to November 19th, there were 103 pneumonia cases in the Netherlands out of every 100,000 children between the ages of 5 and 14. That was an increase from 83 the prior week, according to the Netherlands Institute for Health Services Research. So 20 more cases from November 13th to 19th than the prior week for kids with pneumonia in the Netherlands. That's very concerning. That's like a 25% increase, okay, or 20% increase in cases from mid November to early November in the Netherlands in childhood pneumonia. That's very, very concerning. And apparently in China, they're now disinfecting schools. And here you can see this Chinese government worker with this spacesuit on and what looks like a Ghostbusters cannon spraying some disinfectant. And here we have a graph showing the increase in pneumonia cases among kids in the Netherlands. You can see this one line here, the blue line with the dots, represents 2023. And you can see from like week 39 to week 47 of this year, the number of cases has skyrocketed. Okay. So this is very concerning. And look at the last 3 years, 2019, 2021, and 2022. Even during the pandemic, the cases weren't as high as they are now. So get prepared, guys. We could see potentially another pandemic. So if you have kids, make sure that you're giving them everything they need so they don't get sick and that they're eating properly. Their diet is high in vitamin C. They're getting enough rest. And if you can, homeschool. Homeschooling will avoid these types of risks. And we have the leader of Venezuela, Maduro, saying that the U.S. has begun establishing a military base in Guyana that threatens our national security. And China on Sunday told local authorities to increase the number of medical clinics that can handle a surge in respiratory illnesses in the country. Efforts should be made to increase the number of relevant clinics and treatment areas appropriately, extend service hours, and strengthen guarantees of drug supplies, National Health Commission spokesperson Mi Feng told a news conference on Sunday. So China is expanding the number of hospitals that can handle a surge in respiratory illnesses, and they're extending service hours, strengthening guarantees of drug supplies. Guys, you don't do this if it's not something serious, okay? You don't go around in spacesuits and Ghostbuster cannons and start disinfecting schools across your country if there's nothing bad going on. China's denying that this is anything serious, just like they did the last time. Okay, they were downplaying the whole thing until it was too late. So get prepared. Protect your kids, protect yourself. All right, this is a very serious situation. And we have another potential hijacking underway in the Gulf of Aden off the coast of Yemen. This is a UK trade operations notice that was put out today. Okay, you can see the date here, the 29th of November. Apparently, the UK MTO has received multiple reports from masters of small craft acting suspiciously in the vicinity of the Gulf of Aden. Masters are encouraged to report any irregular activity to the UK MTO. The security notification is in force until 0900 UTC on December the 2nd. So, small craft acting suspiciously in the Gulf of Aden. Okay. So, looks like they're trying to hijack more ships, guys. All right. And the last time this happened, we know that the U.S. probably sent Navy SEALs to take one of them back. And after we took one of them back, Yemen fired 2 missiles at our warship and also at the ship that we took back. So things are escalating, guys. And the mainstream media, they want you to believe that everything is going fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any wars. Don't worry about World War III. Don't worry about cyber attacks. Don't worry about pandemics. Just focus on holiday shopping. Focus on paying your taxes. That's all they want you to think about. Put your money in the stock market. Okay. They don't want you to prepare. They don't want you to do things that are going to prepare you for these coming hard times. They want you to pay into the system. And last night we had some strange activity in the Pacific Northwest with U.S. military aircraft. And we had a nuclear war command and control plane that was airborne over northeastern Oregon. And it got aerially refueled near Klamath Falls, Oregon. And there were multiple aerial refuelers over Northern California and Oregon. And I don't know what they were refueling or what they were doing, but there were like 5 aerial refuelers in the air. And that one nuclear war command and control plane, the E-6 Mercury, got refueled, and it was doing loops over northeastern Oregon for a while. So I don't know what's going on, but it seems like we're either practicing for something or we're on very high alert. Next week, Venezuela is going to have a referendum to basically recognize the western 2/3 of Guyana as being part of Venezuela, the Essequibo region. They're going to basically pull a Vladimir Putin and do the same thing that Putin did with Crimea, and then they're going to invade western Guyana. So maybe that's why we see all this activity. Okay. Here's a closer shot. You can see all these aerial refuelers here: KC-46 Pegasus, E-6 Mercury, KC-10A extenders. This is very, very unusual, guys. And then they all landed at Travis Air Force Base, which is the West Coast home base of the Nuclear War Command and Control planes. And you can see they were just flying all over Travis Air Force Base last night. Look at that. Absolutely insane. But I'm very concerned about what's going on between Venezuela and Guyana. Here we have a map just so you can visualize what's going on. So to the west of Guyana, you have Venezuela, and the western 2/3 of Guyana, Venezuela is claiming as part of theirs, west of the Rio Essequibo River. And there just so happens to be several dozen oil and gas platforms here off the coast of Guyana in this region that Venezuela is claiming is theirs. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewith.nyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, watertight buckets. So it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food: lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. And obviously there's a lot of resources here, so that's why Venezuela wants it. And also, the U.S. is building bases in Guyana, according to the leader of Venezuela. Venezuela is a communist country. They are buddies with Russia and China and Iran and all the BRICS countries. Brazil has already sent their army to this area here, to the border of the Essequibo region of Guyana. So Brazil is preparing for an escalation. And now we have the Republic of Suriname, which borders Guyana to the east, claiming that they want a part of Guyana also, the Tigre zone, which is right down in here. So if these countries, actually invade Guyana from both sides, there's not going to be much of Guyana left. Okay, Suriname wants to take everything all the way up to the Rio Corantine River, and then Venezuela wants to take everything up to the Rio Essequibo, and then you're just going to have this little sliver of Guyana here. Okay, but there are U.S. oil and gas companies in Guyana, so the U.S. is going to have to get involved because of that. Okay, ExxonMobil, Shell, Hess, they all have platforms here in Guyana's territorial waters. Okay, so they're not going to allow Venezuela to just come in and take what they want. Okay, but I'm really worried with this administration. Their track record is really bad. Okay, they basically allow all of our allies to get attacked and invaded with very slow responses. Look what happened with Ukraine. Look what happened with Israel. Now we have Guyana. Next, it's going to be South Korea. Next, it's going to be Estonia or Latvia or Lithuania or Finland or Moldova. Okay, and this administration is very weak and very soft. They're showing fear to the enemies of freedom around the world. Ronald Reagan would be very upset right now if he were alive. And I'm sure he's probably upset right now looking down on us from heaven. He's probably really upset at the way things are going. Okay. I want to just read to you this official statement that was put out by the U.S. Embassy in Guyana. The leadership from the United States Army 1st Security Force Assistance Brigade and the Guyana Defense Force met November 27th to 28th as part of the United States and Guyana's strong military partnership. The U.S. and Guyana Defense Forces discussed upcoming engagements to include strategic planning sessions and processes to enhance both countries' military readiness and capabilities to respond to security threats. Okay, so the U.S. Army 1st Security Force Assistance Brigade has landed in Guyana. Okay, and they're already planning military readiness to respond to security threats. The SFAB is a specialized unit of the U.S. Army established to advise and assist partner nations. Since 2022, the SFAB has conducted several joint training exercises with the Guyanese Defense Forces to strengthen their capacity and capability at the tactical and operational levels. The SFAB advisor stated, "We are thankful for the opportunity to train with the Guyana Defense Force as our partners and friends. We look forward to deepening the partnership in the weeks and months to come." So this is very, very serious, guys. Okay, we are sending advisors and who knows what else to Guyana, preparing for a worst case scenario. And Reuters is reporting that Iran has finalized arrangements for the delivery of Russian Sukhoi 35 fighter jets and helicopters, Iran's deputy defense minister told Iran's Tasnim news agency. And apparently, they're going to get 71 Sukhoi 35s. And Spotlight on China is reporting that U.S. General Charles Flynn confirms the U.S. is deploying new missiles to deal with China's invasion of Taiwan. The U.S. military has planned to deploy new land based intermediate range missiles in the Asia Pacific region to prepare for the situation where the Chinese regime invades Taiwan. So, land based intermediate range missiles, guys. And Taiwan will send 114 soldiers to the U.S. next year to train on Abrams tanks and HIMARS missile systems. Deliveries of these weapons to Taiwan have been delayed by the war in Ukraine, but are scheduled to start next year. A U.S. military Osprey aircraft with 8 people on board crashed into the sea off the island of Yakushima in southern Japan on Wednesday. Japan's Coast Guard has found the debris of the plane and one person. The Osprey aircraft was on a flight from the U.S. Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni in Yamaguchi Prefecture and crashed on its way to Kadena Air Base on Okinawa. The cause of the incident and the fate of the other 7 crew members are actually not clear at the moment. So this is crazy, guys. These Osprey aircraft are death machines. They always crash. I don't know why we're still using them. It's really stupid. Okay, so they at least one person was found. One of our Marines. Okay, so that's good news, I guess. A Pennsylvania water utility is still dealing with the fallout of pro Iran hackers breaching some of its industrial equipment 4 days ago, including having to operate one of its water pump stations in manual mode. The utility's general manager told CNN on Tuesday. It's a pain, Robert J. Bible said. Somebody's got to wake up at 3 in the morning and go turn on or turn off those pump stations. It's just a big inconvenience until we can get the automated system back up and running. The hackers breached the equipment which the Pittsburgh area utility uses to manage water pressure on the Friday night after Thanksgiving, displaying a message on the monitor that Israeli-made gear was fair game amid the ongoing Israeli-Hamas war. And stunning Bible, general manager of the Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa, and his colleagues. Federal authorities are investigating the intrusion. The Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa, which serves about 15,000 people in the Pittsburgh area, has decided to replace the Israeli-made equipment as a precaution, Bible told CNN. And I got an email from a real estate agent in the Chicago area, and this person told me that a cyber attack shut down or delayed real estate transactions in the Chicago area. Apparently, the Chicago title was affected, which is a processing organization for loans and payments for real estate transactions. Okay. So potentially Iranian hackers are now affecting real estate processing. Okay. And Russian President Vladimir Putin said he will not agree to a peace deal with Ukraine until U.S. elections are held. This was reported by Reuters. And Russia has amassed a large amount of missiles in preparation for winter, NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg recently said. And the U.S. is negotiating with Greece to purchase 75,000 artillery shells for Ukraine for $47 million. And that's going to include 50,000 105 millimeter shells, 20,000 155 millimeter shells, and 5,000 203 millimeter shells. We have some breaking news coming from Estonia. Estonia is preparing to close their border with Russia, and they're installing more of these anti-tank barriers. Okay, so here you can see a picture of Estonian military and Estonian police putting dragon's teeth at this border crossing with Russia. Okay, dragon's teeth are like giant pyramid shaped concrete blocks that are used to slow down armored vehicles. Estonian authorities continue their preparations to close the border between Estonia and Russia in the city of Narva, establishing additional barriers on the bridge on the 24th of November. And this is being reported by European Pravda. The first concrete pyramids appeared on the bridge in Narva on the evening of November 16, after 19 citizens of Somalia and Syria arrived at the eastern border of Estonia and tried to enter the country without legal grounds. Earlier, the police and border guards in the county of Ida Viruma, which includes Narva, said that they were preparing for the possible closure of the border checkpoint. We are closely monitoring what is happening at the border because Russia is carrying out migration pressure against Estonia and Finland, sending people who do not have the right to enter the EU to our border. Since last week, several large groups have tried to enter Estonia, they added. The barriers are also being prepared due to the fact that the Russian checkpoint in Ivangorod on the border with Estonia will be closed for reconstruction starting February 1. The Estonian government said earlier that they were ready to close the border with Russia after Finland, but so far there had been no good reason. So this is very concerning, guys. Okay, Estonia is putting anti-tank obstacles on their border crossings with Russia, and they're weighing completely closing one of their main border crossings, if not the main border crossing with Russia in Narva. Okay, so very serious situation there in the Baltic region. We have to keep an eye on the Baltic region, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland. Okay, those countries are on the front line of this war in Ukraine, and they're right next to Russia. And if anything were to happen, Russia would probably attack those countries first before they would attack other European countries because they're right next to Russia. Okay. So, very, very tense situation. We know that Poland already closed all their border crossings with Belarus a few months ago, and they put anti tank obstacles across their entire border with Russia a few months ago. And, Lithuania and I believe Latvia have closed a bunch of their border crossings, and Finland closed their major border crossings with Russia, and they're supposed to close their entire border starting tomorrow. Okay. And we have some more breaking news coming from the Baltic region. Apparently, Polish truckers are expanding their blockade on the Ukrainian border. Polish transport companies last Thursday expanded their protests against what they call unfair competition from Ukrainian truckers by blocking another border checkpoint. A blockade begun earlier this month at three major border crossings with Ukraine has now extended to Medyka, crossing in southern Poland, as talks between Warsaw and Kyiv failed to yield a solution. In Medyka, the protesting truckers were joined by local farmers who say grain prices have been depressed by Ukrainian imports. So this is crazy, guys. Not good. I hope they can figure out what's going on, and try to work something out because they are allies. So that's the latest information that I have. I will be back later on this evening with more breaking news. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these updates. And I will be doing my 100,000 subscriber celebration stream this Saturday night. And I'm going to be giving away fire starters and some Alpes generators, solar generators. So, in order to be entered into the giveaway, you have to tune into the live stream. All right. And we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be celebrating this huge occasion. Okay. I've been on YouTube for 6 years now, and it took almost 6 years for me to reach 100,000 subscribers. I actually started this channel exactly 6 years ago, late November, early December in 2017. Okay. So this is a huge occasion, and I'm shooting for 1 million as my next goal. So help me reach 1 million, share me out, tell your friends and family about me. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.